would like to, yes.
Yes.
You said music was very important to you growing up, and it was a big part of your life. How do you choose music in your films? Do you have an idea before the film, or do you get it throughout?
Well, sometimes as you're writing, you know, Strindberg said, write what you know and in a state of great emotion. Good advice, by the way. So when I write, I try to be, you know, a writer is like an actor in a way, expressing himself through what he's writing. In fact. So I always would use music to get me emotional. And very often that was the music that comes to exist in the film, or being the child of a composer, very often I was having my father write the music or else. And even when I was a student, my father wrote some of the music for my plays, so he was a wonderful resource. You know, you choose music with the same magic that you choose everything. On the Conversation, I wanted just a solo piano. I don't know why, I guess because it would sound lonely. But the choice of music is much like casting. And I don't know exactly the process in me, but I love music. Respond to music, and so, but often I pick a composer who has real musical, you know, credentials, and so I can talk to him in those terms and get a score.
Okay, so one final question over there. Yeah,
but she has to be the final question.
No,
she's
there.
Right in the front. Well, he's the next to final question.
Yeah. Speaker. Yeah.
Speak up loud. So. Well, you know, in the writing, sometimes she has a moment of joy in the work. And sometimes when you're writing, if you're really emotional and I never read what I write. I always wait until I have at least 100 pages. But sometimes in the writing, you know, sometimes you're weeping while you're writing, or you're laughing while you're writing, and that would follow the advice that I just gave you from your countrymen. But there are moments where you just feel you did something, and then of course you look back later and you didn't. But it's, you know, there's a lot of tears in this work, and then there's a wonderful joy when I can remember sitting with George Lucas, and we were putting shots together, and we put this shot together with that, and it was something totally different than you can imagine, and we just jumped up and down like, look at this, like magic. With the shot of this cut to the shot of that means that. It's amazing, that experience, and so there are moments of joy. Okay, she's the last question. She looks like Strindberg's first wife, Siri. She made his life miserable, apparently. That's, of course, you realize, like asking me which of my children I like best, and I love them all. But I would say I'm fond of especially fond of certain movies. I like Rumblefish very much because it was what I wanted to make. I tend to like the ones I wrote from scratch, you know, like The Conversation, because I made it up completely. But you know, I never list the Godfather films because it's such a dismal chapter of my life. But you know, The Godfather, what made those films good is that there was so many wonderful people. The art direction was so good. The photography was so extraordinary. The music was wonderful. The actors, and many of them were new, had never been in films, like Al Pacino or Johnny Casale or Bobby Duvall. It wasn't as if they were all known. But in that film, all of the colleagues, just by luck, you know, luck is the same thing as timing, I think. It was the right moment, the audience was ready for it, the actors were wonderful, and so those are some of the films that but I like them all. There's no film that I would disown. And I have no children, I with this song.
Thank you very much.
So sorry, I
Mr.
would
Coppola.